you know, it has, for the extrovert in me, I'm an extrovert, this has been the most joyous moment. I just am so, it feels like a family reunion. The energy in the room is extraordinary, so we're just so happy to see you. So thank you, Artie and Brian, and good evening, friends and colleagues. Buenas noches, amigos y compañeros. We're also happy to welcome you to the inaugural William Julius Wilson Institute Power Place in-person convening. Thank you so much for being here, for joining us, for flying in.
No, it has been 852 days since our world changed forever due to COVID. As of this moment, we have lost 1,016,561 people. Days that have been further defined by the open and highly visible acts of racial violence and racial injustice that included the murder of George Floyd on May 25th of 2020. The mass shooting at an elementary school in Uvalde, Texas, that killed 19 children and 2 adults, marked the 27th school shooting in 2022 alone. The unprecedented and devastating end of Roe versus Wade on June 24th of 2022. And just last week, on July 4th, the Highland Park parade shooting that left 7 people killed. And the reality is, these visible national tragedies only represent a few. But through it all, you, our leaders, you kept going. You actually did even more. You continued to show up for the most vulnerable children and families in our communities. You fed those who were hungry. You ensured shelter for those who lost their home or were threatened with evictions. You sat grieving with families losing loved ones. You became teachers. You continue to provide much needed opportunities to our children and youth. And on top of all that, you yourself, have been wrestling with your own grief and the roller coaster emotions of all that is happening in our world today. I know for myself, this has been hands down the most challenging year of my entire life. You, who prior to March 13 of 2020 were most likely already overworked and tired already, did even more. So thank you. So these next few days, they're about you. It's a moment to acknowledge the weight you have been carrying and an opportunity to realize you are not alone in this work. This is a moment for us to engage together as a field. Indeed, we believe every single individual in this room shares a common vision to catalyze shifts in power, systems, and outcomes that eliminate the predictive ability of race and zip code for economic and social mobility for the most vulnerable children and families in each of your communities and the country overall. In service of this vision, our collective efforts can connect a significant number of young people to opportunities that put them on a deliberate and continuous pathways to social and economic mobility. The William Julius Wilson Institute has boldly declared that that goal should be 1 million children. At Blue Meridian, the Place Matters portfolio that I'm a part of reflects our belief that place-based partnership centered on cradle to career is a powerful avenue for improving the life trajectory of young people and families in poverty. It is in places, neighborhoods, and regions that pathways of opportunities can be constructed that align with and compound the benefits of interventions across a young person's life. Ultimately, we aim to leave communities in control to shape their own destiny and amplify the array of solutions that can scale to achieve lasting impact. Throughout our time together, you will hear from national leaders such as my friend Dr. Lester Young and Dr. Michael McAfee, as well as the Secretary of Education, Michael Cardona. But mainly, you will have a chance to hear from one another, to share best practices and strategies, and hopefully make deep connections with individuals you have been working with over Zoom for these past 852 days. Before I conclude and introduce the man we all want to hear from, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the individuals who have worked tirelessly to intentionally design this convening. They include Wendy Viola, Tiffany Fountain, Alexis Healy, Tiffany Balmer, Steph Lillavois, Scott Gorgon, and the entire HCC communication team. There are countless others that contributed in big and small ways to ensure this is a successful convening, so I will refrain from naming them all, otherwise we'll be here all evening. But so grateful for all their work that they have been doing. It's been a labor of love, and it has been really intentionally focused on making sure this is both a substantively great experience for you, but also a moment for you to deeply connect with each other. I also want to recognize my colleagues at Blue Meridian Partners. Many people know this. I kid you not, I run to work every day. And I do it not only because I have a deep belief in the power of place-based partnership, but also because of the individuals that I'm honored to be working with. So I will not name them as well, but all of my colleagues at Blue Meridian, I'm honored to be learning from you and working with you. And lastly, our friends and partners at Barmer Group, Jeff Edmondson and Ashana Smith are here. They have been tireless partners in this work. We couldn't do this without them. And they are tireless advocates of building the field of place-based partnership. Here's what I want you to know. The woman standing before you grew up in poverty. I grew up on welfare, Section 8 housing from an arrogant single mom. She was the youngest of 12 children who was the first to immigrate to America from the Dominican Republic. This work is personal. But I'm also someone who has spent more than 15 years of my career in this space. And I just want you to know, it feels like we are in a tipping point moment, a moment to advance this work even further. And this collection of people right here this evening, this is what it's going to take to make a difference. So I am feeling so incredibly hopeful about our coming together and building the field of place-based partnership, and I hope you're feeling just as optimistic and hopeful as well. Thank you. It is now my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce a man who really needs no introduction, a man who decided to come out of retirement, although, Jeff, I don't really know if you were ever really truly retired, but nonetheless, he has come out of retirement to lead the William Julius Wilson Institute, my personal hero, our collective hero, our children and families hero. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Jeffrey Canada.